Up everybody, we're back with another edition of Everyday Hoops. Hope you guys are having a good one. Today we're going to recapping a wild scoring night last night in the NBA. Yeah, had some great games last night, and we're going to talk about all of that here today. Very exciting basketball, man. Thank you guys for views on the videos and the shorts recently. I really appreciate it. If you do like the content around here, consider subscribing, like, turn notifications, do all stuff like that. I'd really appreciate it. Really upset a lot. If you miss any other recaps on any other days, you can go back on the channel and watch those. Links to my Twitter, TikTok, stuff like that in the description down below. And yeah, don't waste any more of your time. Let's get right into it. So the first game we had of the day was Grizzlies and Pistons in Detroit. And the Grizzlies win this game 116 to 102. The Grizzlies outscored Detroit 34-18 in the fourth quarter. Yeah, it was very close throughout the first 2 quarters of the game, but Memphis in the fourth quarter was hitting shots that Detroit did not. Memphis now goes to 6-14. They've actually been playing decent basketball as of recently. While Detroit, the losing streak goes to 18. They're 2-19. Team stats: Memphis shot 52% from the field. Detroit shot 45%. Memphis was 11-14 from the free throw line. Detroit was 9 for 9. The story of the game though was Desmond Bane, 49 points, 6 rebounds, 8 assists, 2 blocks, a steal. Shot 19 for 31, 4 for 8 from 3, 7 for 7 from the free throw line. Just an absolutely amazing performance. He's actually been very, very good this year. I know he's probably not going to get a lot of all-star consideration because, 1, the Grizzlies are not that good, and 2, the surplus of amazing guards in the Western Conference is insane. But Desmond Bane has been very, very good this season, averaging, I think, about 24 points per game, shooting pretty well. Despite the Grizzlies having a very bad, not great start to the year, he's been the one consistently good thing about them. His development year by year, keep getting better and better. It's just been insane, and last night was a really, really good game for him. Jaren Jackson also had 24 and 4 with 3 blocks. Jalen Noel had 12 points. He's providing a lot of scoring off the bench so far ever since he's been in Memphis, and Bismack Biyombo with 11 rebounds. But yeah, really, it was the difference was the fourth quarter. You know, Memphis in the fourth quarter was hitting shots, playing defense, and Detroit just couldn't make anything, you know. The Pistons, 22 and 7 assists for Bojan Bogdanovic with 3 steals, shot 4 for 8 from 3, 17 and 11 for Jalen Duren. I think he got hurt late in this game, I want to say. I don't remember. I think it was him that got hurt. 16 and 10 for Cade Cunningham, and then 12 for Killian Hayes in this one. Yeah, Detroit just didn't have it really late in this game, and Desmond Bane was getting anything he wanted to on them. The next game we had was 76ers and Wizards. The Sixers win this game 131 to 126. Very good game, but the story of the game was Joel Embiid putting up a 50 ball on Washington. Sixers go to 13 and 7. Wizards fall to 3 and 17. Looking at team stats, Washington actually shot 57% from the field. They had 14 threes in this game, while Philly shot 51%, only had 8 threes, but the free throw disparity was big. Philly was 29 for 34 from the free throw line. Wizards were only 8 for 8. Sixers get to the free throw line the most in the league in this one. Joel Embiid, 50 points, 13 rebounds, 7 assists, shot 19 for 29, 11 for 13 from the free throw line. Just absolutely doing whatever he wanted on Washington. He just has a thing against Washington. You know, earlier in the year, he had a 48-point game against the Wizards. He had 50 tonight. Yeah, the Wizards don't have anybody to hold them. That really was the story of this game, because Washington actually was in it. You know, they actually played a good team game, shot very well from the field, from 3. Defense was not bad. It was just they had no one to guard Joel Embiid, really, and he just did whatever he wanted to against that team. Tyrese Maxey also had 26 points and 7 assists, shot 50% from the field, 19 for D'Anthony Mellon. And Kelly Oubre, first game back since the car accident. He had 12 points. He had 10 in the fourth quarter off the bench in 19 minutes. Very nice to see him back out on the court and doing his thing. For Washington, Jordan Poole had 23 points, shot 10 for 16, 3 for 5 for 3. One of his better games of the year. 20 and 8 assists for Tyus Jones. Daniel Gafford had 18, 6 and 4, 16 for Corey Kispert off the bench. He had 4 threes. Bilal Coulibaly, 14 points, shot 6 for 10. He had 3 steals. And then Kyle Kuzma had 16 points and 7 assists, shot 7 for 16 shooting. Tough loss for Washington, but really, yeah, again, the story of the game was they had no one to guard Joel Embiid. Next game we had was the Magic and the Cavaliers. Cleveland wins this game 121-111. Very weird, kind of interesting game. Cleveland wins this one. Orlando just could not really shoot. Cleveland was on them really early, outscoring them 37-20 in the first. Had a 20-point lead for most of the first half. In the second half, Magic did fight back. Made it a single-digit game multiple times, but Cleveland closes out. Cleveland goes to 12-9. Magic fall to 14-7. Team stats: Cleveland shot 53% from the field. Orlando shot 49%. 3-pointers. Cleveland was 14 for 34. Orlando was 2 for 23 in the game from 3. They did not hit a 3 in the first half. Their first 3 came like about halfway through the third when Paolo Banchero hit one, and Cole Anthony also hit one in the fourth. But that was it. But Orlando did get to the free throw line. That's how they brought back. They were 27 for 37 from the free throw line. They get to the free throw line a lot. Cleveland was only 15 for 20. For the Cavs, Donovan Mitchell, 35, 7, and 6, shot 50% from the field, 12 for 24, 5 for 10 from 3. Great game from him. Darius Garland as well had a really good game, 26 points, 9 assists. He had no turnovers. I saw before the game that him and Jay Bickerstaff had a conversation. Darius Garland was very adamant on his turnovers. He was one of the league leaders in turnovers. And then last night, 9 assists, no turnovers. Big game from him. 17, 5, and 6 from Max Strus. He had 4 threes, 16 from Evan Mobley, 10 for George Niang off the bench, and Jared Allen had 11 rebounds in 19 minutes. The Cavs got on him early. They did kind of, give up the lead a little bit. Orlando fought back. Cleveland would just turn the ball over a little bit. The defense wasn't really on point, but once they really locked in, they dominated this game. For Orlando, Paolo Banchero, what a game he had. He really, by himself, I feel like, dragged this team back into the game and almost won it for them. He had 42 points, 6 rebounds, shot 16 for 26 from the field, 9 for 12 from the free throw line. Just getting whatever he wanted out there, against Cleveland. Just the whole team, the rest of the team just couldn't really hit. 19 for Cole Anthony off the bench. Franz Wagner, 14, 6, and 9. He shot 8 for 10 from the free throw line. He was 3 for 16 from the field. 11 for Anthony Black and 11 for Mo Wagner off the bench. Unfortunately, Jalen Suggs did get injured in this game. He only played in 9 minutes. Hopefully, it's nothing serious because he's a big part of that team. But the Cavs, starting to look a lot better the last few games. So maybe this can go. They can go on a nice run. Next, we had Miami and Toronto. The Heat win this game 112-103. It was a very tight game. Second half, though, Miami outscored Toronto 48-37, including a big fourth quarter. Miami now goes to 12-9. Raptors fall to 9-12. Team stats: Miami shot 46% of the field. Toronto shot 43%. Miami forced 14 Toronto turnovers as well. For the Heat, Caleb Martin, 24-12, shot 9 for 16, 4 for 7 from 3. He had, I think, 21 or 23 in the first half, finished with 24. First half, Toronto wasn't really guarding him, and then he did whatever he wanted. But then, second half, they made adjustments. But Duncan Robinson, I feel like was the MVP of this game. 21, 6, and 7, shot 9 for 19. He had no turnovers in this one, even though the 3-ball, he was only 3 for 10. But again, I talked about it in my video I did a little while ago about players having underrated seasons. Duncan Robinson is having a really good year. You can tell he's putting work in the offseason, putting the ball on the floor a lot more, being creative for himself and for others. Not just sitting behind the 3-point line waiting for a shot, doing other things. And he had a big game. Him and Orlando Robinson, the Robinsons, closed out. Orlando Robinson at 15-12, of course, with Bam missing a little bit of time. Orlando Robinson, he stepped in. He's looked really good. 19-8 for Jimmy Butler as well. Then Jaime Jaquez at 15 points off the bench. Good win from Miami. For Toronto, 30 for Pascal Siakam, which was probably one of the quietest 30-point games I've ever seen. OG at 23, 8, and 6. 15 for Gary Trent Jr. off the bench. And Scotty Barnes at 12, 11, and 5. They had a lot of struggle. They showed the shoot in this game, especially in the second half, and Miami took advantage. Next, we had the game on ESPN, Spurs and Timberwolves. The Wolves won this game 102-94, including a big second half. Minnesota, best record in the league, 16-4. Spurs fall to 3-17. They've lost 15 games in a row. I'm gonna make a video about the Spurs. I was gonna do it today, but I felt like last night was so big of games and scoring that I gotta talk about it. So I'm gonna make a Spurs video pretty soon though, because we need to talk about them. But yeah, Minnesota, really good game from them. Team stats: Minnesota shot 41% from the field. Spurs shot 38%. Wolves hit 12 threes. Spurs only hit 8. They are rebounded San Antonio 55-49 as well. For the Wolves, they had 5 players scoring double figures. It was really a team game for them. Mike Conley was the leading scorer. He had 18 points, shot 5 for 13, 4 for 10 from 3. He had 3 steals. And had 17, 7, and 6, even though he had a tough shooting night, 4 for 17 from the field. Rudy Gobert, I feel like he might have been the MVP of the game. 16-20 with 2 blocks as well, just doing whatever he wanted. He was a plus 31 in an 8-point win. And then Anthony Towns at 14-10, and Naz Reid at 15-9 off the bench. Great win from Minnesota, though. Defensively, they really locked in, especially late in the fourth quarter. They only gave up 18 points in the third, 23 in the fourth quarter to San Antonio, and then they just hit the shots when they needed to. Even though it wasn't a really good shooting night from them as a team, they hit shots when they needed to. For San Antonio, 22 for Devin Vassell, shot 9 for 16, 4 for 8 from 3. 21-10 for Keldon Johnson. Wemby, 12-10 at 4 for 13 shooting. Zach Collins at 12-8. He shot 6 for 20, which I don't know why Zach Collins took 20 shots, but okay. And then Doug McDermott had 11 points. San Antonio lost 15 in a row. They're really, really struggling right now. Again, I'm going to make a video about them, so I don't want to go into too in depth because I'm going to go really in depth on that video. I don't know when exactly I'm going to do it, but just know it's coming. But yeah, great win from Minnesota. Next we had the Nets and the Hawks once again. The Nets win this game 114-113. Mikal Bridges hits a game-winning shot late in this one. Brooklyn goes to 11-9. The Hawks fall to 9-11. Team stats: Brooklyn shot 46% of the field. Atlanta shot 45%. It's a very, very close game, man. A very, really good one, close throughout the entirety of it. Mikal Bridges 32, 5, and 6, 12 for 19, 3 for 4 from 3. He hit the dagger with the game-winning shot. Just took over in the second half. Kind of quiet first half. Second half, though, he took over, dominated this game. He had 45 against Atlanta the other week. He has 32. He just likes playing the Hawks, I guess. 17 for Cam Johnson, 15 for Dorian Finney-Smith off the bench. Spencer Dinwiddie as well had a really good game, 13 points. The fourth quarter, really, because throughout the entirety of it, he shot 5 for 19, but the fourth quarter, he was big. And then Dennis Smith Jr. also had 13 points. Then Nick Claxton and Daron Sharp both had 10 rebounds. Good win for Brooklyn. They're over 500, 11-9. For Atlanta, 30 for Trae Young, 9 assists, shot 11 for 24 in the field. Missed the game winner. Was it a foul? Maybe. Maybe not. I don't know. Didn't feel like the same Trae Young game he's had in the past few games. Didn't have a great shooting night. Had 5 turnovers as well. 21-7 for Sadiq Bey. 20 for Bogdanovich off the bench. 14 for DeAndre Hunter. 13, 10, and 9 for DeJounte Murray. Then Clint Capella had 12 rebounds as well. Really good game throughout the entirety of it. Atlanta just couldn't make the shot when it mattered. And Brooklyn locked in the fourth quarter, really. Started hitting shots, locking down on defense. And yeah, Brooklyn Atlanta come down to another nail biter, but Brooklyn got the win thanks to Mikal Bridges, who's been really good the past, I want to say 2 weeks. Next up, we had OKC and Houston. The Rockets win this game 110-101. Great win from the Rockets. They go down to 9-9, back to 500. They have been dominating at home. I think they're 9-1 at home. They won 9 in a row. They've been balling. Thunder now go up to 13-7. Team stats: Houston shot 48% of the field. OKC shot 43%. The Rockets hit 15 threes. Thunder only had 8 threes, even though the Rockets did have a lot of turnovers. They did out-rebound OKC, though, 53-30, including 10 offensive boards. For Houston, Dylan Brooks, 23 points, shot 9 for 17, 2 for 7 from 3. Played, I guess, okay defense on Shea, even though Shea did have 33. Made it hard for him, I guess. Aaron Holiday was the X factor in this game, though. 22 points off the bench, shot 6 for 7 from 3. Just knocking it down, really, off the bench, unexpectedly. And yeah, he was a big X factor. 21, 6, and 7 for Alperen Şengün. 15 for Jalen Green, 11 and 9 assists for Fred VanVleet, and then Jabari Smith Jr. 18 rebounds. I like to see that, even though he wasn't really getting a lot of shots. He only took 4 shots, but he was rebounding the heck out of the ball. OKC is one of the worst rebounding teams in the league, though. But Houston, what a win for them. But great defense on one of the better efficiency shooting teams in the league. OKC is one of the better teams in the league, and one of the best at shooting the ball well. But they did not have a great shooting night. Shea had 33, 6 assists, 6 steals, shot 13 for 18. But everyone else, Jalen Williams had 13, Aaron Wiggins had 11, Trey Mann had 10. But yeah, Josh Giddey was 3 for 11. Lou Dort was 0 for 5. Chet Holmgren was 2 for 9. Casey Wallace was 2 for 5. Isaiah Joe 1 for 5. OKC couldn't hit shots. Credit to Houston's defense, and they're at home. So Houston, I guess, gets a buff at home because they can't win on the road. I don't think they've won a road game yet, but they win at home. So I guess so. I guess that's what it is. Next, we have the Hornets and the Bulls. The Bulls win this game 111-100. They have a big third quarter, outscoring Charlotte 35-20. Charlotte did make it a good game in the fourth quarter, though, but Chicago closes it out. The Bulls now go to 8-14. Hornets fall to 6-13. Free throw line was a big disparity. Bulls were 23 for 29. Hornets were only 12 for 12. That was a big thing for Chicago. Also rebounding. They out-rebounded Charlotte 57-42, including 21 offensive rebounds. For the Bulls, 29 for DeMar DeRozan, was 12 for 14 from the free throw line, 20 and 12 for Vucevic, 19, 9, and 5 for Kobe White, who's just been balling over this little stretch. And then Alex Caruso also had 12 points. Patrick Williams was a big part of this game as well. But yeah, the Bulls without Zach LaVine apparently are one of the better teams in the league. They're I think 3-1 this year without Zach LaVine on the court. They last 3 games they beat Milwaukee, they beat New Orleans. Did they beat New Orleans? Yeah, they did. And then they beat Charlotte in this game. Yeah, just going with the young guys. Kobe White has looked very, very good. Vucevic has been good. Alex Caruso, Patrick Williams bringing energy on both ends. Just been balling, And it was also announced yesterday that Zach LaVine is gonna miss a few more weeks with the injury, so he might not be a Bull any longer. They might be seeing how the Bulls are playing. They're like, you know what, Zach, you can sit out as long as you want, man. Sit out as long as you need, because we're balling right now. But yeah, great win from them. They've just been playing with a lot more energy. It's been a lot of fun. I did the video yesterday about ranking teams based on how fun they are, which if you missed that, go back and watch it. But the Bulls were F tier because I was like, I don't want to watch the Bulls anymore. But now this team, very exciting. For Charlotte, 27 for Gordon Hayward, 25, 5, and 7 for Terry Rozier. Miles Bridges at 16, Brandon Miller at 12. Just couldn't really get anything going. Nick Richards also had 11 rebounds because Mark Williams didn't play in this game. Couldn't really get anything going until late, and the third quarter was a big difference. Next, we had the Jazz and the Mavericks. What an insane game this was. The Mavericks win 147-97, 50 ball. Beat them by 50. This was an insane game for them. Dallas goes to 12-8. Jazz falls to 7-14. Team Team stats, Dallas shot 55% from the field, Utah shot 40%. Mavs hit 22 threes, Jazz only hit 12 threes. Dallas forced 19 Utah turnovers as well. They out-assisted Utah 37-22. Luka Doncic, he finished the game with 40, 10, and 11 on 14 for 25 shooting, shot 6 for 12 from 3, but he had a 29, 10, and 10 first half. The first half, he put up dang near 30-point triple-double. That is absolutely insane. The first player ever to have those numbers in a first half. Number 77, I keep saying every time the Mavericks play, but 77, man, that guy is just a different breed of animal. Headband Luka might be a new thing. Dad Luka, the father, Luka Doncic, has been balling. 26 for Kyrie as well. 17 for Tim Hardaway Jr. off the bench, 12 for Derrick Jones, 10 for Derek Lively and Seth Curry as well. Just absolute dominant performance by Dallas. Not just Luka, but Kyrie. Feels like every shot they put up was just going in. Utah didn't have an answer for it. The Jazz also were missing Larry Marketing and Jordan Clarkson, the two best players, but still they got 50 balled by Luka Doncic and the Mavericks. Next, we have the other ESPN game, Nuggets and Clippers. The Clippers won this game 111-102. Nuggets got off to a big start in the first quarter, but the Clippers outscored the Nuggets 40-21 in the second, and then they outscored the Nuggets 32-20 in the fourth quarter. Clippers now are back at 500 at 10-10. Nuggets fall to 14-8. Team stats: Clippers shot 46% of the field, Nuggets shot 42%. The free throw disparity: Clippers are 19 for 25, Nuggets were 8 for 9. Clippers, great game from them. Paul George 25 and 8, shot 8 for 25 for 9 from 3. 20 and 11 for assists for James Harden, had a great game, probably maybe his best game as a Clipper. In this one, 17 for Norman Powell off the bench, 17 for Kawhi, 10 and 9 for Zubac, and then Daniel Theis also 11 rebounds off the bench. Just a complete game from the Clippers, even though they could have folded after the first quarter. You thought, oh man, here we go again. So the second quarter, they have a 40-point quarter. Then they close out this game led by James Harden and Paul George. Great win from the Clippers. They've been putting some rings together. I really feel like that Warrior game they had the other day where they came back, Paul George to the game winner, I feel like that might have given them some confidence. And I won't be surprised if we start seeing them play actually really good basketball. Now they're starting to figure each other out. It's been like probably 12-ish games. Now they're probably starting to put together, and a great win last night against a healthy Nuggets team. Nuggets had everyone out there. But the Clippers got a good win for Denver. 23 for Jamal Murray, 22, 15, and 10 for Jokic. Shot just 9 for 32 from the field, though. After the first quarter, I feel like everything fell apart for the Nuggets. 18 and 9 for Michael Porter Jr., 14 for Reggie Jackson. But yeah, Jokic 9 for 32. You're not going to see that again. KCP had one shot. Aaron Gordon didn't have a great game. Outside of Reggie Jackson, no one else on the bench really did much. It was just not a great game from the Nuggets. Didn't play. They just weren't hitting shots. Defensively, they weren't out there. The Clippers took full advantage of it, so shout out to the Clips. And then the final game we had of last night, we have Blazers and Warriors. The Warriors win this game 110-106. Portland was up for, I feel like, most of the game, but then Golden State in the fourth quarter outscored Portland 20-20, including Steph Curry having a big fourth quarter, or big second half, and a big shot to seal it off. Warriors go to 10-11. Portland falls to 6-14. Team stats: Golden State shot 42% from the field, Portland shot 41%. Blazers hit 16 threes, Warriors only hit 10, but the Warriors are 28 for 32 from the free throw line. Portland was 12 for 16. Portland also forced 17 Golden State turnovers, though. For the Warriors, Steph Curry 31 points, 8 for 18 shooting, 5 for 13 from 3. He had 22 of his 31 in the second half, including hitting the big shot. Yeah, really balled out. When the Warriors needed him, to close out the game, he did it. Jonathan Kuminga as well was really good. He did not play in the first half. And in the second half, he comes out, has 13 points and 6 for 6 shooting, 2 steals, brought a lot of energy that the Warriors really needed. 13-6 for Dario Saric as well, 12 for Moses Moody, 11 for Klay Thompson. He had a big 3 in the fourth quarter, even though he shot 3 for 13 and 1 for 8 from 3. And then Draymond had 10, 10, and 9. But yeah, the Warriors are down most of the game. Again, turning the ball over a lot, couldn't hit their shots. But the fourth quarter, the last few minutes, they locked in, and that's when the game was really decided right there. But Portland had a really good game. Anthony Simons playing his first game since opening day. Well, since their first game of the year. 28 points, 10 for 17, 6 for 13 from 3. Glad to have him back. He's going to be a big part of this team. 26, 6, and 5 for Shane Sharp. He had a really good game. 12 for Jabari Walker off the bench, 10 for Duop Reef, and then 13 for Toumani Camara. But yeah, the Portland really was in it. I thought they were really going to win this game. Portland is one of the best teams in the league at forcing turnovers. They're actually a really good defense as well. But just couldn't hit shots late, and the Warriors are just a veteran team at the end of the day. Portland didn't have their vets as well. Malcolm Brogdon only played 13 minutes, and then Jeremy Grant and DeAndre Ayton didn't play, so maybe if some of those guys play, they probably win this one. But, it's good to see the young guys out there ball, but the Warriors really just came in and took it away from them. All right, that's going to be it for today. Hope you guys enjoyed. Once again, if you enjoyed the content, consider subscribing, like, turn notifications, all stuff like that. I really appreciate it. We have a lot. We're almost at 400 subscribers as well. We're only like 5 away. We're at 395. So You know, if you like it, hit the subscribe button, hit the 400. We really appreciate it. Obviously, again, if you missed any of the recaps, go back and watch them. Links to my Twitter, TikTok, stuff like that in the description down below. Yeah, I'll see you guys tomorrow.